giving a very good service for the society, and he's going to be the mentor, and he's going to lead this day for Fridays for agriculture. And we have Anthony Henry, we have Mantesh Patil who's going to lead this, and Srinivas Acharya is going to be who's going to be a mentor for this. And Srinivas Acharya is into huge multiple animal husbandry, he's an expert on that, and he's been training people in India, and he's also training for all the people from different countries, people coming into his his farm, which is called as Yashodavana in Mysore. So where people are getting trained from all over the worldwide, and this is what he's been doing. He has a huge goat farm, and he has multiple animal husbandry. So agriculture is also depending on animal husbandry, right? So this is why, we are balancing everything on Fridays, and we are going to have amazing sessions on Friday to upskill all the farmers, to know all the technologies, related to the agriculture, how it can boost your business on agriculture. So that is what it's going to be on Fridays. And yes, so Saturdays. So Saturdays is something very special what we have. For every single business entrepreneur, there are some challenges what they face. That is nothing but brand activation, or could be business sales and marketing. So this is something a challenge, whatever the sales you got for the last quarters, how to get the sales leads, how to get your sales in up going up upwards, right? Every month, every quarter, how you can take the sales upward, right? So that is why we have Saturdays dedicated for sales and marketing. And we have a legendary person, we have Edward Chaladurai, who is going to lead this day, and he's a brand activationist, he's a brand activationist. And this Edward Chaladurai, he has done amazing things, to talk about him. He is the one who has launched the KTM bike. He is the one who launched Volvo, and he's the one, done a brand activation for a lot of reputed multimillionaire companies. And Edward Chandra is going to lead us on Saturdays. And we also have Dr. Gerson, who is going to be a companion for Dr. for Edward Chalodharai. So Edward Chalodharai and Dr. Gerson, they both are going to lead Saturdays on category of sales and marketing, brand activation. So every business, individual business entrepreneurs can be a part of this Saturday's session, where you will be upskilled on all these challenges, which you'll be facing. How to take business level, how to get your sales to be intact, and then the making strategies, all this stuff you'll be learning, you'll be upskilled. A lot of awareness programs will be conducted on Saturdays. So this will be really amazing. A lot of huge, big, reputed entrepreneurs are going to be a part of this session, and they'll be giving you taking all the sessions. And if you are one of them, who can give us a lot of detailed information on, sales and marketing and strategies and all this stuff, ideas. So you can also be a speaker for Saturdays. So that is what we do on Saturdays. And Sundays, it's going to be very favorite for all the business entrepreneurs, because Sundays it's going to be introduce yourself and represent your business. So this is all sessions are a recorded session. On this Sundays, what we're going to have, the most of the people on Sundays, they're at home, and all the business entrepreneurs, they have a break on Sundays, where this Sundays you can participate, you can introduce yourself, and you can represent your business. So this way you can reach out a lot of business entrepreneurs. They are very keen on understanding your business. So what business service or service you are into, what kind of vendor you are, and what kind of products you sell. So all these things, where people are very keen on understanding your business services, and they're very keen on giving you connection. They are very keen on giving you potential connection. So this is what we do. We try to understand each other's business services, what we do, and we have a lot of most of the people whom we have in open business networking. They try to understand your business, and they see from their network, from their connections, how they can give you some potential connection. So most of the connection comes internally in open business networking, and we've been crores of transaction which has been happening all the time. So we have already crossed 12 crores of business transaction in this 2024 year. So we are going forward, and we are looking for big numbers in 2025. So this is what we've been doing. And Saturday session has been recorded session, right? So we are going to take your clip. We are going to take your recorded clip of your session individually, and we are going to take the clip and share it with your targeted audience. We know who is your targeted audience. It could be a manufacturer, or it could be a factories, or it could be like the industrialist, or any industry. It could be any corporate companies or whatever. We are going to share your clip with your targeted audience directly. So the magic is, before you know your client, before you know your targeted audience, your client, your targeted audience is getting to know about you. He's going to getting to know about your services, the significance of the service, and the uniqueness of your services and product, what you do. So people like your clients, your targeted audience, when they get to know about you, they are going to get connected with you. Right before you know about your client, your targeted audience, the targeted audience is going to know about your portfolio. They're going to know about your services, your product, the significance of the services, what you're going through. So these all things will be known, and they will directly get in touch with you. So this is what we've been trying to do. And through the clubhouse, introduce yourself and represent your business. There have been a lot of transactions which has been created, a lot of sales lead which has been come through just by sharing this clip with our targeted audience. So this is how you get benefited. So don't miss this out on Sundays. So please introduce yourself, represent your business, and get a good lead. So this is going to help you out on every Sundays. And surprisingly, so we've been covered all the seven days of the week on early morning, 6:30 a.m. That is when we're going to start open business networking in Clubhouse. So surprisingly, we also coming up on Sundays and Monday, Monday, we're coming at tuning time, night 8 p.m. We're going to start our session. So Sundays, it's going to be other category. On Sundays, if you're falling into other categories, you also get an opportunity to be a speaker. You can come up and talk about your business services. We can talk about your business industry, what is into. So this is what we do on Sundays night, 8 p.m. So you can be a part of Sunday night as being taking a session, and there'll be a lot of mentorship programs. There'll be training sessions. There'll be brainstormings. So a lot of awareness programs, and which is going to benefit for all the business entrepreneurs. Every single business entrepreneurs, it's something every day is a learning. So that is why we've been created this platform for you all. So please make sure you attend these sessions and get benefited and get a very good potential connection and network. So we do that together, and let's grow together. On Mondays, we again going to conduct night 8 p.m. That's going to be again very reputed one, very popular one. Introduce yourself, represent your business again on Monday night. So Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. It's going to be again introduce yourself and represent your business. The same thing follows again. You'll get an opportunity at night time. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Introduce yourself, represent your business. So this is all for to give you a brief information on clubhouse meetings what we conduct. Apart from this, we also conduct meetings every single week on Wednesdays. We conduct virtual meeting. So this virtual meeting is the only platform where you get to know all the exciting benefits of open business networking. So if you want to know all the exciting benefits of open business networking, you need to be part of virtual meetings what we conduct on Wednesdays. It's going to be at 6:45 p.m. So you can be a part, and you can definitely meet all the genuine business entrepreneurs, and that will be really great fun, to meet all the genuine entrepreneurs and talk about your business services, and you can see face to face, and you can see whom you're talking to. So this way, we can get to know about each other's business services on virtual meeting. So this is going to give you very potential connections, collaborations, unique business opportunities can be created. So that is what we go and do it on Wednesdays. And apart from this, every month, so we have a physical meetup conducted. So it's going to be conducted in it's called as a coffee connect meet, what we do every single month, a physical meetup. So this physical meetup is going to be conducted in a world-class ambience, in a world-class business boardroom. So in this business boardroom, we are going to give all the facilities to you with the projector and all the stuff, where every single business entrepreneurs are going to come as a keynote speakers. So they're going to come as a keynote speaker with their presentation slides, where you're going to project your presentation slides on the screen, and you're going to present it. You're going to talk about slide by slide in detail about your business services, and you're going to talk about the significance of your services, the uniqueness of your services. You're going to talk about your product. So this is how you're going to be presenting it with all the people. And you know what? As being a keynote speaker and presenting it on the screen, and you're talking about slide by slide in detailed information, that's going to create a very great impact on everybody, So this impact is going to create in such a way where people, they get to know how professional you are, how much product knowledge you have, and people, they get to know, like, you're being doing in a large scale, your portfolio, people can see all your work samples. So this is what you've been providing the services for the multi-million companies, and maybe, like, the reputed clients. So this is what the portfolio will be created. So once people, they get to know about your services, your potential, your knowledge, your product knowledge, and how professional you are, so there's the one thing, like, which builds on everybody, that impact will be created in such a way where people will not have any hesitation to give you connection. Simple it is. So once they don't have any hesitation, they give you connection, they take the services from you, they give you the potential connections in their network. Someone is looking for that services, they remember you. Once you created that impact on this presentation as being a keynote speaker, so people, they never forget your face, they never forget your name, they never forget your brand name, they remember all the services and product what you serve, what you give. So in this way, like, in their network, whenever they come across someone is looking for the service or product, they're going to remember you, they're going to give you connection. Why they give you connection? Because they know you're potentially, you are good at giving services, you are very good professionally doing business, you have a product knowledge. So this professionalism will be known to everybody. Once that has been known, so no gets any hesitation to give you connection. So this is how, like, the trust is built. One thing I can promise you, which is very important to be said. So that's nothing but, like, I have to really, I must say this, because when you're connecting with someone, okay, so you feel really like, am I connecting with a genuine person or not? So what we have is, like, anybody can be a part of open business networking. And very surprisingly, open business networking community, to be a part of it, to be a member of open business networking community, you no need to pay anything. There is no any registration fees, there is no any renewals for lifetime. So this is what we are doing. So but to be a part of open business networking, it's so easy, but it is also difficult, because every single business entrepreneur who's going to be a part of open business networking, we are going to do a detailed authenticity check, and sometimes, if it's required, we also do a background verification from professionals. So once this has been clear, you can be a part of open business networking community, and we can continue further. So this is all about open business networking, and this is Rajendra representing open business networking. Thank you so much for coming into this clubhouse session on 6:30 a.m. It's going to be connected every day, so don't miss it out. So let us start our day with a great positive energy. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday Clubhouse, and we talk about health this morning. My name is Ramesh, based in Bangalore. My category is nutrition, wellness, and fat loss. We customize health solutions for families using the principles of right foods. Incidentally, our boot camp starts tonight, 9 p.m. India Standard Time. Do connect with me to understand more about it and what we do at the boot camp, where we help people understand the principles of right foods for health. Okay, so it's been a great privilege that I have today to introduce to you a very unique speaker, a very favorite of all of us here in OBN, and that's Dr. Rao from the USA. Dr. Rao is a physician of internal medicine with an MD from New York University. He's practiced for over 45 plus years in the US. He has an MBI, that's a Master's in Business Informatics from OHSU Portland, Oregon, USA. He also has an advanced Yoga Advaita Vedanta practitioner. He's now a CEO and CWO, Chief Wellness Officer of The Appal LLC, an online wellness optimizing company with services for fusion of modern medicine and ancient wisdom. The services are proactive wellness club, coaching for burnout and stress of physicians, IT professionals, and leaders of corporations. He is now on a mission to make wellness a movement and make wellness of people, health, systems, society, and the people a much better place than we are in. So, without taking much any more time from Dr. Rao, Dr. Rao, can I invite you over to the stage? Mic is yours.
Thank you, Ramesh. Hi, Raghava. Hi, friends on the Instagram and Facebook also. I'm here to introduce you something I'm going to do next week. So this will be brief, but give you some information as to what I am planning. This is from April 12th to 18th, 7 days of proactive wellness for entrepreneurs. Why this is important, I will talk about that. It's going to be 1 hour every day. First day is going to be more like an assessment. Where are you in your health and wellness? Are you really in charge of your wellness? Do you know what's going on? What is under the hood is brooding, that kind of thing, right? This is not just a preventive exam once a year. This is more like actively involving with our health issues, and then having a proactive plan, that we could do with so much of scientific breakthroughs and also a lot of ancient wisdom we have. I believe you can live longer, not only longer, but also well, and not only well, but also joyously. So you can be very productive and very much contributing to life, and also enjoying your life with your loved ones and whatever you enjoy yourself, doing things. So next 4 days, 4 days we are going to really do the pillars of wellness. I call them pillars. Everybody knows the vital nutrition first day. Second day is optimal exercise. How much exercise we can do, and then having a quality sleep in this day and age, and also how can you calm your mind down. These four I will go philosophically, and also what are the breakthroughs in terms of our understanding, how we can use the experts, use the nutritionists, use the physiotherapists, use the sleep labs, and then also go and learn meditation and all. That's all fine. But I'm going to give my take from my experience of internal medicine for 40 some years, and also my understanding of the ancient way of healing, what they had secret, what we don't have, and that kind of thing. It's a question of understanding. It's a question of reaching out with questions, not just leaving everything to the doctors or other people, but you yourself actively taking responsibility for it. Okay. I left in the clubhouse, in the chat. I left a connection to the YouTube, which is through StreamYard. I'm now, streaming in the YouTube too, where the slides are there, and you can. There are not that many, but you can look at that, and it will be much easier for you to get a grasp of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is going to be from April 12th to 18th of this next week. I titled more like a proactive wellness for entrepreneurs, a life altering week. That's how I am going to be doing everything on that 1 week. See, it's like a thriving from inside out, body, mind, and spirit. That's what we want to do, and we want to present everything. See, why the wellness wake up call now is 50% of people have chronic diseases in the United States and other developing countries too. And see, these chronic diseases are really sapping the energy of everybody. Okay, most of the adults have at least one chronic health disease. That is one thing. Prevalence of chronic diseases, and also very poor outcomes. See, we don't have real good outcomes, and then we don't want to leave them till they become a problem, until they produce a complication. We want to get a hang of them when they start. Say, one of my real philosophies in my medical care was, I'm going to attend to your roots of illness as much as possible. Okay. Suppose it's genetic, something hereditary, something from the family, you got it. We may not be able to do that much, but still we can limit the suffering. But most of the disease of civilization, like a diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, smoking related disease, alcohol, all these things are really because of our civilization we have. Now, we have this information age, a lot of neurosis, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression is happening because of the internet, because of the social media. We all know that. So mental health itself, it is 71% have some sort of mental health. This increase in stress among the high performers, especially the entrepreneurs, they are really vulnerable to that. And other thing is, 63% of the entrepreneurs, they report insufficient sleep and energy crisis. They don't perform very well at the top of their energy because of this, right? So I want to address this proactive wellness in the sense that you're going to do some measures proactively, not somebody asked you, or anybody pushed you, or a crisis pushed you, or you're developing symptoms. No, you want to understand now what can I do. So assessment, I'm going to give you the form. By the way, the whole conference is going to be free. We may have some things you, if you want to buy, you can buy them there, but otherwise all these are free. And when you come, this assessment also, we will give it to you, and then you can fill it. You don't have to disclose anything. I can detect some things by filling that. Okay. See, if you don't act on your wellness now, this is like a personal cost. See, and then family relationship suffer because one person gets sick. Most of the bankruptcy is because of that. So we want to really not have that personal cost. And also, if you are an entrepreneur, you're leading a team. The team will be impacted because your effectiveness, your leadership really diminishes too. That's another reason why I want to read. And business failure, 300 billion annual productivity losses are documented. In any most of the countries are like that. So that's why I am saying, as entrepreneurs, you take charge of your health and be at your highest energy, and not only produce and enjoy that too. So my thing is, there is a new entrepreneurial mindset for myself, from really reacting to crisis, building proactive resilience within you. Crisis in the sense of health crisis. And also, you don't want to sacrifice your health for the success. That's what's happening, right? All doing, and then suddenly they are hit with a disease, and all the money that they made, they're spending for the health care. That's not really needed, because you can lead with clarity and presence, and you don't have to be bankrupt and lose your health also, right? So other thing is, normally we used to seek external validation, but now well-being as the highest ROI. That is the mindset I want to encourage and present, and see what you all do. Okay. So when we are doing you when we're introducing you to this challenge of being proactively well, it will take 7 days, maybe 20-30 minutes talk, and then 20 minutes of maybe question and answers, like that. I want to spend that, not too much. And then this is for the leaders, for the founders, and especially the creative leaders. Okay. There will be some videos, some reflections and micro habits and all that. Okay. I'm going to give my own story, how I have come and all that. A day with for me starts with wake up with awareness. Align your body, breath, and brain. And then take a breakfast, fuel with intention, anti-inflammatory eating and hydration. Then move to thrive. Easy yoga, energizing stretches, deep breathing, that will also help you not to react but to respond things. And then really focus your mind. Practice to be in the present and carry like a perfume for the rest of the day. Okay. So mind like water, be like water. So be present, and your stress is reduced through presence. I do practice present movement awareness, not necessarily practice. In that state, we can go and stay there. Okay. And purposeful action through the day. Align your day with your deeper why. Why am I doing it? What is my life about? That kind of thing. And then we will also talk about the power of pause, midday reset, and maybe a nap and all that, And then really sustaining this wellness by creating proactive wellness blueprint. Those are the aspects I'm going to present to you in detail, right? So, what is my practice is a unique blend of science and ancient wisdom. So, modern science of neuroscience, cardiac biology, and ancient wisdom of yoga, Ayurveda, breathwork, and Advaita Vedanta, and all that. And then some behavioral science, sustainable habit formation will be there. And digital era, we have a lot of digital toxicity that's happening. So, I will address that too. So, these are the mixture of things that I'm going to present to you for your own welfare. Okay. So, my invitation is come and invest in your being, not just your business. Commit at least these 7 days, that may transform you for better. And then join our tribe of visionary entrepreneurs who are thriving, not just doing stuff. Okay. See, if your cup is full, you can give something to the world. Okay. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. This is your moment to refill, realign, and rise. Okay, how you are going to refill, restore your energy. I call what's called ever renewing energy. I'll show you how you do that. And then realign with your greater purpose that will motivate you, propel you, and reduce the stress also. And you will be rising by impact, by elevating your own impact to life, not just only one particular family or one particular organization or anything like that, but it's a larger picture. The more you have that, the more you feel much valued, meaning, and purposeful in life. That's what I think. So we will be talking about vital nutrition on the second day. Vital nutrition, okay? And then a lot of our friends in here and other places where I go, they all provide valuable information, but it has to be pertinent to you according to your age, sex, and also underlying conditions, habits. So much is there. So I'm going to present to you how ancients approached nutrition, how it has become really important for them. Food is so important. Food was the medicine. So I will tell you the perspective about that. Second day, we are going to go for the optimal exercise. You don't have to necessarily go to a gym or you have to go to a yoga studio, but you can learn functional fitness. When you are working, can you move the body and keep the mind silent? That is what I'm going to address second day. Okay, everybody knows like really going and walking. They can do whatever they want, but I'm going to show you how to discover opportunities while you are working your normal whatever work you are doing. Suppose you are working in a computer store and you are sitting down for a long day. I'm going to make you raise the desk. I'm going to make you get up and walk back and forth 10 times, 10 feet. That becomes 100 feet. That's called Shat Pavali, they used to call. All the ancients practices after the meal, they did that 100 steps after the meal. So that kind of thing. So many sessions are there, and then you can also be inventive and really improvise and discover things. Okay. Then the third day, optimal sleep is so important. I will show you how sleep deprivation is causing so much stress, and also body and mind are not given a chance to recover. That is the purpose of the sleep, right? I will show you the details of the neuroscience and how can you have. I myself an experiment for the sleep because I used to be a physician. I had to take night calls, right? So I really didn't like them because my energy was down after the night call. But then after I understood a lot of stuff from the yoga nidra or shavasana, and also the latest um, scientific findings of the sleep, I was able to really improve my quality of sleep just by understanding and also unwinding both my body and mind. So I'm going to show you a very practical thing that you could do on a daily basis and improve your sleep very, very high. I never take any sleeping pills, okay? But you can also be like that. It's a question of understanding. It's a question of practicing. My style is about small changes we want to make, but make the small changes permanent. If you make them permanent, some of the things that we are allowing them to go through our life without paying attention. What I am asking is take responsibility for your health and wellness and do some really important things that you can change just by being responsible to that part of yours. Then you can live better, you can live longer, and you can live in joy. So I don't want this to be too much because all these three things will be important. I will discuss those days. But the fourth day, or the fifth day, actually, fourth of the pillars, mind. How are you going to calm your mind? More than calming the mind, how are you going to be very smart about how to think, and when to stop? See, my formula for the health is move the physical body and keep the mind silent when it is not needed. The style I talk about is be in awareness of presence in the present, and then use thought consciously. That means it's not allowed to go vagabond. It's not unconscious about it. No, you use your thought consciously, and after you're done, stop it. So that means you're going to live in that silent awareness, which is thoughtless. This is really made into such a big deal. Many people teach meditation and all that, but our natural function, one of the brain function is to be still, but we don't know how it is and how to cultivate that. So I'm going to show you those small things by which you will definitely don't have to be sitting down and meditating for a long time, but you can be in the state where you're meditatively aware. I will show you that it's not going to be easy, but in understanding and then practicing it will be immensely beneficial in this information age. See, I'm a master's in biomedical informatics. My thesis was about information overload. So I was really studying, researching it in 2008. They kind of, put ordinary secretaries, everybody in Paris, and they did a good study there. And as they are working, they recorded their EEG. And then that became really very valuable for us. But later on, we have a lot more information now. It's not important to have so much material to be dumped into your mind. You can read something, but you don't want to put the entire book into it. You want to know what are the insights I'm having from this book. What is the important things I should know? Those things, right? Those things are very few. Only keep them, and also daily practice to take them all out before you go to sleep. So these are kind of unusual. Maybe some people may not appeal and all that. They may not be able to keep quiet for a few seconds. But as you enjoy proper use of thought for the external things and the internal things, you don't want to analyze yourself. You don't want to go and sit in front of somebody telling you your entire life stories because no, here and now, what are you going to do about it? You can deep breath. You can slow it down. You can focus on the breath, and then you can also focus on one thought. And after a while, after several weeks, that you can really go beyond that one thought into the silent self. And once you make that your asana, your main posture, everything rolls out from that. You must be seeing I'm participating in these talks here, and when I participate, all the material comes out. but I don't take so many impressions or reactions or somebody saying something nasty or whatever. I don't take them. That is one part yoga teaches you not to cling anything. Learn from the past, sure, have the lessons, but then don't go live in the past. Plan for the future, fine, but then don't go live in the dreams and hopes and goals. So it's kind of a little bit against the culture here in the United States where everybody is rushing, everybody has goals. You can have goals, but it's the process that is important. Have goals, make a path to it, break down into steps. And when you do the step, focus on that. So I work from morning till evening, but then at the end of the day, I have my energy gone up. That is the ever renewing energy and not depleting your energy through unnecessary things. So I'm going to focus very much about mind because yoga is really mind. Vedanta is about dissolution of a mind. So I'm going to bring that wisdom that I learned, which was very useful for me. Now, whether you believe it or not, even though I'm talking on the talks, most of the day I am in silent stillness. Yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. Then tada drashtu sarupya avasthana. Your real self comes out. Otherwise, vritti sarupya. Otherwise, you identify with your thoughts and then you go with the thoughts. So there is a proper way to really think and end it. If you learn that, you have done a major benefit for your health. See, but I was talking on the wisdom app. My very first talk, I talked about self-realized people, Atma Sakshatkaram. Those people are the healthiest people. Why? There is no movement of the mind. But nowadays, people don't know what it is to be achala, not movement of the mind. At the same time, really be observant, really be taking advantage of situations and all that. Because you can be more focused if you are not lost in thought, right? That's a very simple thing. But then you don't want to suppress. Thought is a very powerful thing, but don't waste it. Don't make it rob your energy. I'm going to talk about that, and you can see whether I'm saying correctly or not. I personally, I am, even the big problems come, I don't let that react me emotionally. I want to look at it, see what can you do, and then focus on that. Thereby, the problems are solved better. Okay, especially entrepreneurs, everyday challenge, right? So many things come up. Face them for what they are. Be in the present, and then you will be going beyond that. Okay, thank you. I don't want to take too much time for this introduction of the week coming on, but if you have any questions or if you want to me to address anything or anybody wants to come and contribute, be my guest. That's a very welcome sign. Raghava.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. That's a great initiative that you have taken to, deep dive 7 days of the week into wellness. It's an amazing portfolio to for people over here and to go through and to understand health, life, and many aspects of how to get control over oneself. Uh, yeah, the room is open. Anybody has any questions about anything, further details about all of these? But Dr. Rao, if you could just announce in the chat the timetable of the program, that would be great for people to go back and refer and copy and paste into their calendars.
Yeah, yeah, it is going to be April 12th. I'm going to be using the morning hour too, but it will be on the Zoom. And Shailaja and Manini are helping me somewhat. They are going to give you the Zoom link once you fill up the form for the name and the email, they will send you the Zoom connection, and you can just dial in at the time, and then I will be meeting everybody on the Zoom so that I can see them too. And then some people really want some physical exercises or breathing exercises or meditation, we will do that too, so that they can see me and do that too. And also, I can exchange some documents, some information, some of the sources. Like, for example, nutrition. I have wonderful friends with the dietitians, but I bring the perspective of the Ayurveda, yoga, and Advaita Vedanta on nutrition, and also modern things of nutrigenomics, how the genes are going to be used to prescribe your own diet. This all still experimental and research based, but you can see that that's coming up. So like that, general philosophy is how can we fuse the current modern scientific breakthroughs so that we can assess our health much better, not wait till something strikes, but rather take initiative about let me take a look at it if something is right or not. We go and check the car like that, right? We want to make batteries good, and then tires are good, and like that we will do preventive things. But here we need to do much more than just am I feeling good or not, but it is my like what is my past history, what was in my family, what is my genome say, and so many things we can do much ahead now rather than allowing people to develop these chronic diseases and then make them worse, and then later on people are losing all their productivity, all their real energy, and they can participate also. That's very very pitiful. When I go to nursing homes, when I see those like a real leaves falling off, I really. By the way, I have a club too, apart from my proactive wellness club, but also there is NEW, Nurturing Elderly Wise People. See, people after retirement, they kind of take it easy. They kind of go for the creature comforts, and also they don't really work that much with their mind. Those kind of people are really losing the meaning and purpose in their life and they're going to. So I saw a story of the universities are allowing these elders who just retired but still active. They have given them opportunities to learn good things like music, art, or whatever they want to. They can get involved in new things and then engage their mind. Thereby, they can be young for some time. And also, really, if they have passion that they wanted to be actor or something like that, they can revisit that. Like that, I am teaching them how to live physically, mentally, emotionally, how they can really learn new things, and that thereby they can really have meaning and purpose in their life. Okay, many of the people are empty nest people. Everybody's gone, or they are busy with their life, and these people have to live for themselves. My point is, they don't have to be left to be get wasted. They can bring the meaning and purpose into their life. So I devised this. I have a lot of music, I have a lot of talks, I have a lot of things I can teach, like somebody comes and all that. So that is happening. But then I'm not advertising that much, but more people should be exposed to that so that you don't put as elderly people go and rest, but we want to create opportunities for them to enjoy their life. Say, for example, my sister is 83-year-old. General tendency in the family is, well, you take rest, you don't do anything. But I make her just go in her more in a room or go up and down the stairs and all that. She is still very healthy now because of all that. I interfere with her because I call her every day. She is in Secunderabad. I call her and find out. As an example, how you can make elderly people live longer, live by themselves. That's the important thing, independently. They are going to their activity of daily living every day, and also make sure they are experiencing some pleasures, experiencing some meaning, some kind of understanding and all that. So I sat with my mom and saw the whole Ramayana episodes of Raman Sagar. but I was explaining the intricacies of that. So it's not just ask her, go and sit in front of the TV and do it. Don't do that. Involve, converse, spend time, meaningful time. That is also I encourage very much. Of course, there is a burnout sessions for the physicians and the nurses, and there is a stress reduction for the entrepreneurs and the IT people because I'm both in IT and also in this medicine healing thing too. And uh, corporate leaders, the leadership is servant leadership. That means you are serving the needs of all your employees, all the people that are, because you yourself have the self reliance, and then you don't have to really go and get out there. That is the importance of the realizing your inner self and also establishing the resilience within you. Most of my work, the wellness club or NEW or any of them, they are focused on how can we bring resilience for each human being. It could be a lady or old man, or it could be a baby or obese kids or anything like that. I want to really tap on that inner. It's not enough just to eat and then you go and study and then you work, and that's a old fashion. Nowadays we have so many insights in the modern medicine, and we have so much revisiting of the ancient wisdom by several people. I learned all the ancient wisdom staying in this country. When I was in India, they never introduced me to the lifestyle I'm living now. They were kind of, fed us and sent us to school, and we played cricket and all that. Once a week, my drill master used to do one class for the yoga, but he didn't know the formal yoga. After I came here, 1985, I bought a book of B.K. Sangar, and from that I did it, and he was very meticulous. Fortunately, I was able to stick with him. Then, initially only physical yoga. I didn't know the yoga had such a great depth about actually yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, that is about concentration, attention, and eventually the mind. And now I have a very silent mind because of that. So anybody can have it. If I can have it, you can have it too. But we were not told. And the other thing is, we were so busy doing medical school, the practice, and all that. But I always knew that the yogi people, they are having a very quality life. They were cool and calm, and they were able to do tremendous physical things at a very advanced age, and they were independent. They were walking a lot, they were breathing a lot, and they were taking the water a lot, but they were eating only one meal a day. That's why they're called eka bhukta. And now there's so much science behind it, we can understand. So one thing I did with the ancient wisdom was I didn't buy it as a belief system. I went and studied it with my scientific inquiry. And actually, if you look at it, they were very scientific people. They didn't accept anything. And also, they called what's called jignasa, mumukshatvam. That means inquiry minds. See, this religious activities, belief, and all that, that was frowned upon even by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So he tells Arjuna, don't stick to the religious activity of the Vedas, but they are all to make your mind focused. And then beyond that, there is knowledge yoga. Go there, find out what it is, and then operate from there. That is the gnana. Even if you go to yoga, first you do the unselfish work. That is the karma yoga to purify your heart from all the desires and everything. Then use bhakti yoga, devotional yoga, or raja yoga, which is the meditational yoga, both of them to really focus the mind. With a cleaned up mind of the unselfish work from the karma yoga, with a focused mind by practicing meditation or devotion, whichever appeals to you, both are the same. And then you go to the what is life? Where are we coming from? Where are we going? What is the proper way of doing anything? That is the Gnana Yoga, knowledge yoga. You got to integrate them. When you work unselfishly for some cause that is bigger. So I say, I want to contribute to the life. I want to contribute to the best of my ability without expecting anything in return. That is my karma yoga, selfless yoga, right? And then I want to focus, be in the moment, present. That is my focusing the mind through present movement awareness. I'm not in thought, I'm rather in awareness, and then using the thought consciously. Having done that, looking at the deeper, very life changing truths that they expose, you got to go and investigate yourself. Don't believe, question, and then go and investigate and then validate the truth by yourself inside yourself. But if you don't make time for it, if you really spend that kind of thinking, you will not be touching the real truth. You'll be following somebody else and they will be exploiting it. So, this is how you can make your mind an asset and a mind that is really good for you. By the way, there are some concepts that are very practical, really. For example, oneness. For example, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. For example, everybody has that inner divine nature. All these things have to be brought to our regular life. Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, the whole, the not only the people, but also the tree and uh, all the animals and everything. They are all one. So identifying with one particular country no longer appeals. But then I may have affection to India for a while, USA, because of the different reasons. I see the good things in USA, I like them. I see the good things in India, I like them. Unfortunately, the things of India were ancient. Present India is really not doing that, Whereas they are aping the Western countries are suffering all the problems of that superficial living, the addictions, the lack of relationships, lack of mental peace, or energies, chronic diseases, all these mental problems, they are increasing with this lifestyle. But unfortunately, whatever America does, rest of the world is doing. Grasp what is the good in America. Maybe there are certain vagaries happening right now, but essentially, this is a freedom giving country. And it is really actualization in terms of career and all of that. That is something we could adopt. The punctuality, the cordial nature of doing stuff, professional nature of performing our duties, all those things I love it very much. Nobody bothers you as long as you are doing your own stuff, right? And then heartfulness from India. We are generally heartful. That is what I saw. Loving nature, giving things just because. Vatsalyam. All these girls or boys who are younger than us as adults, I have affection for them without asking anything in return because that is shown to me by my grandfather, my mom, and everybody. They were really heartful people. They know, have you eaten, boy? Or how are you feeling? Oh, you have some cold. The way they ask, that was from their heart. And when I went to ancient wisdom, the wisdom was Dhimahi. Bring your mind into your heart and operate from the heart. Not this transactional nonsense that is coming from the West. They were the one who brought in the ego and the profits way back. But before that, if you go 7,000 years ago, people didn't have that kind of property orientation or ego development. They were living very simply. Outward things were very simple because they went inward and found treasures. And those are all still live. You can learn that if you are interested. I was fortunate, I was exposed to that, and now I'm trying to share with people. I'll stop there.
Yeah, anybody has any questions, you can come up and pose them and have an interaction with Dr. Rao.
Good morning. This is Shailaja. Am I audible?
Yeah, Shailaja, you're audible.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I want to share a few, thoughts regarding the session and all that. So, usually they say it's like a company of wise and wise and good people is something like when you walk through a perfume shop, right? So whether you want to buy it or not, you are bound to have the fragrance. I see Dr. Rao in the similar fashion, wherein all the insights and the knowledge sharing and all these talks we had all this while is similar to that. So all of that the wisdom what we get, it's something like I see it like a instruction manual. Any device which we purchase comes with an instruction manual, right? Similarly for a life, if you have an instruction manual, we need to learn that from Dr. Rao. He mentions he clearly clarifies each and every questions we have as an entrepreneur or any other queries for life. We have an answer there. So I invite all of you to attend the session, the upcoming session from 12. It has it has a gem for life. Everything, right? Everything an entrepreneur has to the his complete inner circle. If he is able to engineer that, then he can do wonders. So that's the basic foundation that needs to be set up properly, upon which the complete building blocks can be set. So Dr. Rao will be coming up with each and every pillar there, and as we are discussed, and we'll be floating up the Google Forms, and we'll be sharing all details further. So I would suggest all of you to attend the session and make the best benefit out of it. Thank you.
By the way, the pillars were also from the ancient wisdom. Ahara vihara, achara vichara. Ahara, food, right? Vihara is like walking after the food or before the food. Achara, best traditions like some of the Agastya Muni, for example, he understood the ancient wisdom and he distilled such a way that they were incorporated into daily life. Getting up early in the morning before sun and really, doing the Sandhya Vandanam where you have exercise in there and breathing is there. I was studying Sandhya Vandanam with a yogi who is 106 years old. What he explained Sandhya Vandana, how it is, it floored me. And then they were using cow dung in the water to spread around the house, right? That was the antiseptic. So he devised regular daily life habits that were borrowed from the ancient wisdom. Even for him ancient, he lived very long, I was told. And then he incorporated all these our traditional Indian old methods, but unfortunately people are influenced by sedentary habits of the West, you know but we don't have to blame them. But the Westerns also, once they adopted yoga, they were so sincere. When they come and learn that, they were so sincere. The people who have. So I was very impressed with their dedication, with their inquisitiveness, and all that. So there is a book called Yoga of Yoda. Jeffrey said he wrote a book. Not only that, but he explains how Vedanta is in Star Wars. See, the Force was equivalent to Brahman. The Jedi's are yogis, and they use the meditation all the time. Even now, what I do many times is, if something comes up to me and all that, immediately I ask, is that here and now? Is it in front of me, or am I living in my head and thinking about it? Live in your head about your product, but don't live in your head about yourself, because you're always new. In the moment, you are. So always ask, am I here now? Is that here and now, or has this happened, and why I'm hanging on to that? That will relieve a lot of your tension, anxiety, and lots of. So Agassi should be thanked for in the South India, especially. He traveled quite a bit, I believe, and then he really brought that wisdom into the daily life. The number of ways he influenced about the village helping each other, not having the concern about accumulation of money, but rather than just exchange things, and then limit the outward life as simple as possible, and inner. So simple living, higher thinking, or higher wisdom, I would say. Thinking has got uh, many problems too. If you don't know how to end the thinking, you would never have peace. On the other hand, if you ask, for example, a very simple thing, somebody says something to you, and you go and compare that person said this to me and all of that, that's one thing. But if you say, why my mind is reacting this way, do I have to react, or do I see, is there truth in him? Then I can take it as a constructive criticism and improve myself. If not, then what is that you're holding to? Buddha, for example, he was giving a lecture one time, and somebody came and abused him, and he could not take what Buddha was talking about, and he spit on him, and then he walked away. And Buddha was motionless, no reaction. Then the disciples came and asked him, what is that? Why are you taking all that? And he said, see, he insulted me, but I didn't accept it. So there was no reaction. Non reaction is something that we teach now. We tell them, take deep breaths, take a pause, and see the reaction. If you ask yourself why my mind is reacting, then you are being spiritual. But if you say, "Oh, that guy is this guy is this," that's why they were doing all that, then that will be a kind of problem for you, right? So reacting here has become such a big deal. People are killing each other, road rage. We all know that, right? And maybe in the house also, among the couples, among the family members, and all that. So non-reactiveness is something I kind of focus a lot, because if you do that simple thing, deep breathing as much as possible, okay, that is one of the assessments going to be. Are you really, and the energy, quality of sleep, things like that, that we are really not that much, they will be here. Okay.
Uh, Morning all. Is my voice is audible? Ramesh sir. Yes, 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 Arjun, go ahead. Yes, I have a question to Dr. Raj, sir. Uh, even I could also not react, sir. Most of the situations, but there were some people take a disadvantage of that. Like, no, if you not react to that, if you're in a community, if something's going wrong, right? You have to raise your hand and you have to react. So the way you are in the position, like, no, you have to take care. You have the responsibility for that. In that case, we are not reacting to bad things. Like, no, if something is going wrong, what we have to do, sir, in that situation.
Yeah, we're not saying to be dead or anything like that. Respond. What the reaction we're talking about is our inner anger, or feeling bad, or getting insulted, feeling all that reaction we're talking about. You have to respond to the situation, that's fine, but then respond without that emotional turbulence. See, a lot of people have that emotional turbulence because they never cultivate what is sympathetic tone, how to have it less, but they allow it to go because they allow the personality ego go without them seeing. But if you don't have that personality and ego that is really taking, I'm a big deal, nobody should be doing anything, then you will be reacting. So it's not that you should not respond to your situation. Respond your tasks without emotional turbulence within you. That comes with practice. That's why you take a pause, right? Anything else, you take a pause, then your inner turbulence will go down, and then you could use more energy. Like for example, something happened with the bank. One notice comes, comes at the evening of Friday, but we knew that was not correct because we know the monies and everything, right? And we can react, get worried, and spend all the weekend till the bank is really open on Monday, or we can see that reaction. If you only observe, and that will go down. If you take deep breath, it will go down, and you want to use your energy to do, if you can do something. Otherwise, watch that. This is such a energy consumption. So I'm not saying you played it. Even Gandhi taught us. This is something I learned very early. He said non-violence means that British are my brethren. I won't hate them, but I will not keep quiet when they are imposing injustice. I'm going to raise in pious, peaceful indignation. That's what he did, right? Quit India. That was a response. Response in a way. And that has saved so many blacks in South Africa when Nelson Mandela, he removed that kind of anger, that kind of thing in his jail. He spent most of his life in jail. From young man, he went and came out as old man. And then one story was he was actually acting as a president at a time, and somebody called him for a lunch. So he goes and having lunch with people in there, and he saw somebody standing there as a god, and he asked his people, go and get that guy. And they go and get that guy, prime minister or president, whatever he was. He's asking you to come for lunch. That guy comes and he was shivering, and then he sits down and he's not at all happy to be there, and then he finishes his meal and goes away. Then guards ask him, what is wrong with him, why is he shivering? He says, oh, Nelson Mandela, he was my god when I was in prison. When I was having the meal sitting down, he used to come behind me and urinate on me. So he treated me pretty badly. And but then the enmity for him I did not cultivate. I did not react in the long run also. They are completely forgiven, completely forgot. So who is better because of that? Nelson Mandela. Who is better because of that? All the people that were not slaughtered. So he was a black, or the black majority came to South Africa. They could have slaughtered all the whites. That did not happen because they learned this righteous indignation without violence, without this emotional. That's what I'm talking about. For example, doctors are built to develop immense egos. They have the money, they have the power, they have their own way, and then they go around like that, right? And then they breed all this resistance, and people don't really love and affectionately greet them, right? And then so they have their own problems developing around them, and suddenly they have a sickness or practice goods or whatever. Then everybody comes to get this guy, right? That is when they are burnt out. They are not having the same recognition. They are not having the. They never developed the skills to really address burnout and stress. Not only doctors, most of the people are doing that, right? Then they come. The first thing I tell them is calm down, take deep breath, and keep silent. Stay for a few hours. Most of the people can stay within a few seconds also, but as they are doing this integrated yoga I teach during the day, that means you work for a greater cause, or make your work such a way that it becomes service to somebody, right? That Siva Gnana Jiva Seva. Everybody has the Shiva, the conscious completely available divine nature of everybody is there, if only you choose to see it. And then it doesn't matter where you come from, what kind of ego he has, what kind of, they are all attributes that came. The problem is people identify with that and they think that's the reality. The reality underlying is yoga sevagna jiva seva. And once you do that, so respond, Arjun, but don't react. And also have this that is the spirituality. Like I said, question your mind why it is reacting like that. But you have a responsibility. You have to resolve the issue. Like it happened in my clinic several times, not several times, a few times. Different girls come and they young girls come and they train. They get the green postures. They go and I hear, but I don't mind. I kind of train them according to what I want. So I take them very young people and they come and do the internship in my clinic and then I hire them as medical assistants, for example. So sometimes they make mistakes, and the patients do not want to keep quiet. They always had direct access to me. See, my office, I designed my office such a way that they can walk into my office. Nobody stops them. And then when they come and complain. So all the staff knew I have a relationship with my patients completely. But the nurse does something and the patient is unhappy. If I think like a businessman only, then one patient goes, it says seven patients will go with him. So will I think that, or should I neglect his complaint? That's not right either. So general tendency is I am the boss. This woman is working for me, so I go and take it out. All that. That may go because they need a paycheck. They may want to stay, but then they will resent you inside. So I have to go between. So first of all, I shouldn't be reacting like that. Then I have to respond to what happened. I have to satisfy my patient. I have to take care of my nurse also. So I will go and talk to her, find out what happened, and then if she needs more training or she needs more patience or she needs maybe something is going on. Young mothers who used to come and work, something with the husbands and boyfriends, something may be going on. So she may be like that. That day she had a bad day, but then she understood, even a small thing that is not done intentionally also patient can perceive like if she hurt me. So my patient is happy, I'm going to go and talk to the nurse. When I went to nurse, I'm not jumping on her neck, but finding out, empathizing and understanding, but also making her realize we are a private practice, we cannot afford people to be going away. So she understands. And also, we don't want to hurt anybody. Maybe she needs more training about that particular. We have so many things. We did EKGs, we did breathing tests, we did stress tests, echo lab, and everything is there. So everybody needed training after they came to me. My style was clone them, clone them to the standards that I want. Once they learn that, delegate them. Sometimes they made mistakes, but they not make it voluntarily most of the time. But this kind of my attitude is nurture my employees so that they deliver better. That is the response. Responding to the situation, satisfying our visitors, but at the same time satisfying our people, because we have to nurture them, right? So that is what I'm talking about. Don't react emotionally. Develop the deep breathing, develop this pause when these things well up, and especially take a break and then go take some water and sit down and take a few breaths and come back. And then listen, listen, what's the complaint? That itself, you know, cools down the situation. So don't react emotionally and question your mind. Why you are reacting like this? It's not the other person's problem. It is your mind why it is reacting. If you approach that way, you will go to the spiritual inner nature much faster. So then also you have done your job of responding to the task. Your health is also protected because you are not emotionally reacting inside.
Yeah, I'm so happy, Dr. Sir. I have one more universal question for you. It's like, no, see, we are all common human beings, so making, making ourselves happy, making family happy, and earning money and building empire. Everything is fine. So we are also like others. Many people done already. They went up. Then final one question for me, like many people are still searching for the answer is, what is the purpose of life?
Yeah,
Okay, what
very
you're
good.
searching for?
Very
Where
good.
is no, how do you make your soul happy?
Yeah,
I don't want to become not like others. I want to become something special in
yeah.
my journey. So that
Now,
is my attitude. So what do you say about this?
Arjuna, that is a wonderful question. There are so many things involved in this. You see, generally people think our weaknesses are like our human frailties. Oh, we are after human beings, we can react like that. No, that's not the human being. The human being has this inner resilience and inward being that is really take the life on its whole, and then even extreme suffering is there, you can transcend that. That is the genius of ancient Indian philosophy, where they valued inner being, where they valued our capacities of. You must be wondering how come Dr. Rao talks about these so many things all the time. That is the conserving the other energy and then using only for the purposes that we want. So that is one thing. Inner friability, frailty of the human being, the weakness cultivating as though it's a human being after all, that is kind of not knowing how to come out of that with pungent strength and then face the life with knowledge, with resilience, with the capacities that you can. So for example, I'm 70, right? And I do exercise quite a bit. I do exercise with my friends in the morning, then during the day, and also I stand up most of the day. And understanding how the body needs continuous movement and all that, and also how the mind needs gaps, rest, and also really don't want to continuously think. Once you understand, you can really develop a resilient self. See, that's what I tell people. If you come to me, I'm going to address inner resilience. Like, for example, we're going to talk about AI. Why? So that we can adjust to the upcoming challenges, right? So that we can feel better. We are not lost, we are not left behind. We are going to open our mind, thereby the mind works better, thereby your old age will be delayed. Feebleness is delayed. So, the purpose of life that they talked about, I was convinced about that too. And I talk about it every birthday. The purpose of the human birth is has the intelligence that can turn inward and realize who we really are. That is Atma Mokshartham. Realize the inner being. All else is attribute, education, degrees, all the monies and so they talked about that. That is the way they said. And after you realize that, that is called Purna, whole. Once you touch the wholeness, you are not building yourself with thoughts and egoic nature. Not that. You will be resting in that inner, forever fulfilled self. Okay, just resting in that is the real asana. And once you're resting in that, you'll be very powerful human being in whatever you are doing. But then you don't do it because of that, because you don't have that me and mine. You kind of surrender them, that me and mine. And the other thing you're talking about is there are people who kind of, you know, want to enjoy the innocent pleasures and want to really experience life. That is called bhoga, bhogi. Most of the people are, we are like that, right? But then there is another lifestyle, which is called yogi lifestyle, where it is they develop this discrimination of what is true, what is not, and develop detachment to what is not. And then they kind of pursue this inward journey. what is beautiful about that is you don't have to have many attachments, many things. Okay, all this entrepreneurship is about making a huge amount of money and living it up. That actually people are doing that, they are losing their health, and they are never having this fulfillment. Remember those four purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha, sampada, that property or whatever, knowledge, whatever. And then that you accumulate and you think, at the end of the day, I'm going to be very happy, right? Most of the people operate like that. There's nothing wrong making a living. There's nothing wrong feeding your family. There's nothing wrong being charitable or improving your. But then, if you do too many luxuries, you have this civilization disorders, which I talked about, right? So that is not fulfilling for sure. Just take your. I've seen millionaires who are miserable. Okay, that we have seen that very much so. The third one is karma, the desire, simple desires. Okay, but then if the desires overwhelm you, go out, even if you see, Somerset mom said this: if you stay at pleasure too long, anything pleasing will not be pleasing anymore, which is true. We see Netflix 10 20 pictures in a row, you don't want to see a movie for a week, right? It's simple thing, we experience ourselves. And both these two are the karma, accumulation of riches in any form, not just the money only, and desires, they should be done in a righteous way. Righteous means that is not hurting universal order, helping most people, right? That my wellness movement is like that. It's not just for only Bobian. Bobian is my family, so I come there. But rest of the world is also my family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? If I cannot relate to immediate people here, how can I relate to the rest of them? So it spreads. It's something you start the wave. The wave propagates and reaches the shores, right? So they said just because you are accumulating things, it is not going to give forever fulfillment. Maybe temporarily you will be happy and all. The same with the desires also. But actually, desire is the root of all those uh, kama, krodha, mada, matsarya, all those things. They are because of the underlying the whole thing is the desire. That's why Buddhists say no desire. But there's real meaning in that. And you are not interested in the accumulation because you have it and you don't find meaning. You are not interested in the desires and you are gone. And what is there that gives you forever fulfillment? That is moksha. That is actually liberation from the mind. The problem with the Western culture is Rene Descartes, the French philosopher, said, I think, therefore I am. No, thinking is your faculty. It's not big deal. I've seen so many village people, people in India that don't have, they don't know anything, illiterate people, but they are so heartful, so affectionate, so wise. My mom was like that. They touched so many people. My mom came here at the end of her life. She stayed here. She passed away here. But she was staying a few months with my sister in Tennessee. She made 50, 60 people, my friends. When she died there, all those people came. None of us knew any of them. That is heartfulness. A big smile, a warm hug, and then coming from the real heart. Modern tendency is put the mind ahead of the heart. Ramana Maharshi talks about we're born with the spiritual heart that encompasses the mind. But the mind, we let it go out, ego, personality, and then we identify that as us and we lose our heart. So Dhimahi in Gayatri Mantra is about bringing the mind back to our heart and then thinking with the heart, compassion, kindness, mudita. That is, you are happy somebody has succeeded, right? So react not with the mind, react with the heart. Forgive them for whatever they have done. What did Jesus said? Forgive them, my Father, for they know not what they are doing. On the deathbed. Is that an answer for you, Arjun?
Yeah. That's amazing, sir. I'm reaching you. I'm reaching you your thoughts. If you permit, I have one more question.
Sure,
If I
sure. Go
want
ahead.
to ask.
Go ahead.
Really, sir. See, I frankly telling, no, I mean, today I'm going to share some things inside my mind. I did most of the research about your Dr. Hauser, like what your session you're taking. Really, it's amazing, and I'm getting the most inputs from your side. Every day I'm enjoying my life, plus, sir. I'm normally I'm talking to living things. Everybody will do that, but I'm talking to no, non-living things also. Okay,
Yeah.
I really to love that. Okay, love the nature wherever I go. I'm eagerly waiting to help others.
Yeah.
I don't know about my position where I am. It's a sunlight or raining, whatever things, personal life. I forget everything. I wanted to make the soul happy. I really believe like God loves me, not only me, or loves the people who try to help others, help make others soul happy.
Yeah.
Right? This I really learned, and I'm going to happy myself
Yeah.
to help others, and always I carry with a positive mindset, positive attitude. Negative things it won't come to my under the table, sir.
Yeah.
What do you say about this, sir?
Arjun, you don't have to learn to be happy. You are happiness itself. That is not only just you, Arjun, but everything inside of us, that Purna. You remember, Raghu, when your cup is not empty, then you can give. You don't even think about, I need to get something because you are full. That then you can actually improve your skills and you can do uh, giving itself is getting. See, you enjoy serving your customer, right? And when they come and they say, "Oh, you did a good job, Arjun," you feel happy because you helped him. That is the underlying thing, right? We, ordinary charges are okay. That's not it. The money transaction is beside. But you have the conscious feeling, I want to do best by my patient. You may have incentive about making more money. That's okay. But beyond that, if you just do and they, even if they cannot pay that much right away to you, you still are happy because you gave your best to him, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely right.
That's what it is. You see, there's a story I usually tell. There is this emperor who had enormous kingdoms, enormous wealth, and enormous responsibilities, administrations, and all that. But all those are weighing him down. He was restless and all that. So he was taking a walk in the balcony alone by himself. And he looks at the main gate. There is somebody who is only in a loin cloth. He has the biggest smile on his face and he's playing with the kids there. And they are all having a ball. And this emperor feels, what is this? And he walks to the gate and tells him, hey, guy, I have all this riches, all the people working for me, all the servants do everything. But how come I have this boj on my heart, big weight on my heart? I don't feel to really be spontaneous, be enjoy with the kids like you are doing. And he said, King, you said in your own words, what is the problem with you? He said, I have all these things. You are possessed by the possessions. You are not using them and let them go. You feel they are your security. Cut it out. And then that inward complete Purnam that is there, because what does the poem say? Purnamadam, Purnamidam, Purnat, right? That means from that perfection, what came as me is also perfection, not the egoic perfection. It is full, that's it. Understand that. Put your mind to quietness. That is chitta vritti nirodha, means all the thoughts, keep them quiet. Then what you are really comes out, unallied happiness. I'm afraid That was there in the ancient dictionary. And then when they had this kind of giving to other people and producing for the life and really considering oneness of all, there were very little division, and that's why there was very little real destruction of each other, and really oneness with the nature, protected the nature, and they were the highest GDP at the time. Do you know that India was the highest GDP? What happened to all that? Because we lost that inner connection. What I am saying is maybe I'm just as you know, using wisdom from our ancients. That's why I have the highest regard for the ancient Indian seers. I named my son Rishi Raj, Rajarshi. You can be administrator, but at the same time, you can be really administrator in the sense Raja, that is a Rishi that can see what is what. So don't be proud about knowing a few facts. They are really went into meditative awareness, discovered the stages of a fetus in a mom's tummy. They knew pi, they knew zero, they knew the distance between Earth and because this is a very big deal in scientific circles. Do we get from the data, from the study, or do we stop all the study and then suddenly the insight sparks? Because you are acting as a conduit to the universal intelligence. Case in point, Srinivasan Ramanujan, he was producing tremendous formulas, physics and mathematics. And Thomas Hardy was the leading physics person in England at the time. He was the world's best known. He saw these formulas that Ramanujan sent to him, and he was amazed. Oh my God, all the answers are here. So they brought him to England. They enrolled him and all that. They asked him, "How did you arrive this? What is your mechanism?" Normally, what do we think? We have to study a lot, we have to understand it a lot. And he said, "I was meditating on my baby every day. And then when I slipped into sleep, my baby came in my dream and wrote these formulas on my tongue. I woke up, I reproduced them." This is all history. You go and see that man of intuitive wisdom, something like that. Yeah, man with infinity, I think. Dilip Patel was there. That's a beautiful movie. What it is they were meditating in the sense they were calming the mind down. You say Patanjali Yoga Sutras, you first to five, eight parts, right? The first to five parts is about how we are in the society, how we are personally ethics, and also how we prepare our body, how we control our energy with the breath, and how we withdraw our senses. So we work on the mind. First, dharana, that is concentrating the mind with all the thoughts. Then staying with one, dhyana, meditation. And after that one thought is there, you go beyond the thought into samadhi. There, even one thought is not there. When you are in that awareness, the meditative awareness, you become the conduit to the universal energy, which is much, much superior than us, right? And then, because you are a conduit, not that you accumulate it, but you allow the universal intelligence to come through. That's why keep quiet and see what happens. Keep quiet. That's what they say all the time.
Yes, Dr. Sir. And finally, I learned is ego is we are having ego.
Yeah.
I learned the meaning of ego. If you have ego, you are exiting from God.
Yeah.
Is what I learned.
Yeah, but are you doing it? That's the one we have to say. We understand that. But then, yeah, that God is there in you, in us, in everybody. That's it. Touch that and you stay there, then ego will be your servant. See, like I said, you take your me, whatever I am. I can say knowledge, I can say money, so I can say friendships, whatever. That is me. And then what I am thinking is mine, my house, my family, my thing, my other. Take those and surrender to the Ishvara Pranidhana, 2 feet of the Lord. Give these two to the 2 feet. Then you have transmuted from the egoic tendencies. It's not bad that egoic tendencies have. They are there to propel us in the world, take us to places and all that. But don't identify with that sense of me, sense of mine. That is the problem with a lot of suffering. But once you transcend the ego by understanding it, then that will be useful for you. Okay, but it doesn't give you any identification because you are in your real identity of the being. That's why in my morning routine, I do the Shambhavi Mudra at the end. I tell them, now you're going to affirm what you are, and you're going to dissuade or detach yourself from what you are not. So there's a mantra I make them do. What it is Deham Naham. Deham is a body mind complex. That I am not. Naham is I am not. That is when you do, you let it go with your breath out. And then when you are taking the deep breath, Koham Soham. Who am I then? Soham has two words in it. So Aham. Aham is that ego or individual consciousness, and so is the Paramatma. That is the universal consciousness. That universal consciousness is in you, not as an ego, but as that being, that spark that we all talk about, right? And that I want to be identified with, not with my education, not with my job, not with my sex or whatever. They are all attributes. They are human parts of things, right? But then you say, take a deep breath. Koham. Who am I? Soham. I am the part of the soul. That is the Paramatma. Breathe out. At the same time, let the association go. If you are attached to it, Deham, body mind complex, Naham, I am not. So in my morning report, I make people every day remember that at the end of it. First of all, stretch your body and deep breathe. Thereby, you have energy, your body is healthy, and also you are not going to react that much because you are breathing. Two, right? And third thing is try to be here in the present moment. That means you are not leaving your mind going to the back and forth, but you are here and now in life. If you are in the present moment, then you are in life. Actually, it's happening. A couple of minutes ago, that's gone. But right now, this is life. So connect with the life by not traveling in the mind to the back and forth. That's what most people do. So don't go to the past, learn the lessons from the past, but don't go and live there. Establish all the goals in the future, but then don't go focus on the goal. That's the Western culture does. They build up these goals and they put a lot of struggle for the people. But if you are not really pressure like that, you will do better actually. So don't be in the mind, be in life. That means be here and now. So that's all I'm saying. Other thing is, I make them observe the thoughts. Don't treat thoughts as you. You are having thoughts. Thoughts are not having you. In your awareness, thoughts pop up and come. Use it, but then end it. But the problem is, people identify with those thoughts and they say that René Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. That's a fundamental Western civilization mistake. The whole thing is still going on. If you look at other way, our people described what's the Pancha Koshas, 5 layers of human personality. Annamaya Kosha, which is made of food, Anna is food, right? That is the body. Pranamaya Kosha, that is our breathing, our energy connected with that. Okay, that's the prana, right? And then Manomaya Kosha, your layer of thoughts, feelings, and all that is the mind and everything. That is where most of the people are stuck. And then Vijnanamaya question. What is your understanding of life? What is the purpose of life? What is the end of life? Where do you go? Where are you coming from? What is this Brahmand? Why are we discovering all these black holes and everything? Why is that Ramanujan is the one who discovered them and his findings were not appreciated 70 years later because they could not understand? You don't have the conduit for the university to come through, right? And the fifth layer is Anandamaya Kosha. Not your simple pleasures, not your simple happiness, but bliss and happiness, Sat Chit Anand. That is existing conscious bliss. We are way away from that because we are always in the Manomaya Kosha. So all we do is unravel this and make them. There's another example I can give you. Radh, the chariot that they are described in Upanishad. It's about you have a physical body of the chariot and you want to maintain that so that it is sturdy enough to take you for the long distance, right? So you want to maintain your body physically well. Young people actually are taught about this Brahma Vidya. And then there are horses. They gallop, but they have to be controlled. Otherwise, they will go wherever they want. Senses are like that. See, Western culture thinks sensual pleasure and giving complete way off for it is the one. That is causing a lot of problems. But whereas ancient said, don't let your kinkarasya kinkara, that means slave of your slave drive you. Your mind is supposed to be your slave, and the sins are supposed to be your mind. But you are slave of the slave of the slave. So that's why you have to get them back. Right? So how? With the reins. What is the rein? That is the mind. That is full of these thoughts and all of that has to have the higher thing which is holding the reins. That is our buddhi. That is the saradi. That is the charioteer who is the driver of that. Right? And who are they carrying? Who is the passenger? That passenger is the soham aham going towards the sa. That's the journey. That is the atmamoksha. So he wants to go and reach, like a river is going and reaching the sea. He wants to go. Let's say the sea may have superficial agitation of the waves, but there is a deep silence. Like that, we have deep silence within us, but we give it to the superficial agitation, and the neuroscience is still showing us the more you do that, the more they become stronger thought patterns, and then they come out when you don't want it. So being quiet, being really understanding this is very, very important for our health in so many ways. That's why I said that filler I'm going to talk about mind is something wonderful to me, and I wish other people also taste that bliss.
Yes, it's really amazing inputs, Dr. Osar. As you said, Ramana Maharshi told, silence as reality, be still, heart as a center, and learn things, more things you have to learn from Ramana Maharshi sir values.
No, Hridaya is the center of everything, our being.
Yeah, heart as a center.
Yeah, no, the Hridaya, that is the center of it. And then that is not about physical heart, it is about entire being is in that. And then out of that, the mind comes up. And then we let the mind go out and we identify, and then we don't touch the heart. Ramana Maharshi is not understood by just listening to him, but you have to question that. You have to go deep into that. And then, if it is truth, you got to make it really in your life or not. Then you will understand why you are like this and what has happened and all that. Okay, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. Shravanam is listening, first of all. Don't agree, don't disagree or agree. That's not it. The thing is the act of listening. Completely there. I'm not thinking something else and all. I'm just listening. This is so useful for me with my patients. I get rapport just like that. because I shut up and listen. What is your experience with this? And that we put it into motivational interviewing. It is an informatics topic of mine, and I championed that because I knew what is listening from the ancient wisdom. It's not listening because oh, I have to listen because this patient very upset or I will not get no, not that. You got to shut down your intellectual activity in the sense it's not going all over from the situation. Be present moment awareness, and then just listen, let it come through. So I teach another thing called forest breathing. What I do with the physicians is just go to a nearby garden and first of all connect with whatever is happening in the nature, the sight, the light, the rain, the sun, or the noise of the leaves or the wind. All those things, let them sink into you. Then don't absorb them. That is pratyahara, withdrawal of senses. The stimuli comes, but you don't allow the stimuli to rake up your agitation within you. Jay Krishnamurti talks about this. You go and see a tree that is beautiful. Usually, immediately, people try to compare. Oh, this used to be like that. This is. I saw saying something else. I have the. They want to bring that in. No, that is not really one with what senses are bringing it to you. And then you can withdraw the senses from the stimuli. Thereby, they won't even have entry lots of times.
Doctor
Yeah.
Shailaja here.
Yeah, sure.
So, Dr. While with our discussions on entrepreneurship and servant leadership and all of these, right? So, most of us here are into business and entrepreneurship, right? So, how do you foresee these leadership qualities, like running an organization, the hierarchy, and there is so much, right? Like as a teamwork, and there is so much to handle each and every day. So, if for example, if he's an entrepreneur and he's at the top CEO or the founder level, he has to manage his team in a way. It is a progressive thoughts with even not hurting much on them or getting things in a productive line. So
Yeah.
how do you visualize or at least give that visualization for us to carry the takeaways or minimum things which we can do in our daily chores and routine. Please give us those insights,
You
Doctor.
remember I talked about Purushabdas, you know?
Yes, 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 yes.
Remember that other thing is karmanyavadikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. What does it mean? You have the right to work, but you don't have the right for the fruits, good or bad. But what the whole system has become from, it has come from West or there, whatever, everything is about some few things that are temporary in nature. In your own life, they go away, right? After a while. And why are you hanging on to that? So you can be a servant leader sense you are complete, you cup is full. That's why you don't ask anything in return. You work unselfishly to really relieve the suffering or mentoring and whatever. So a servant leader as a boss will become more like a servant for the needs of the others. Then he would really enjoy the giving, and then he has to purify his heart by himself. So if you are programmed to make money, get a lot of things, and you are thinking that is the highest thing, you make the money. We have seen that also. We have seen that. We have seen the people who made money and who are unhappy in spite of the money, or sometimes because of the money. So what it is there are four qualities, spiritual qualities you nurture to go into this deep phase. First of all, discretion. What is permanent, what is not. Viveka. Have that viveka. then lands or properties and all those things, don't get attached to them. Live in them. Don't get attached. That means go in the boat, row and go through the life, but don't allow the water come into the boat. Then you will sink, right? Then, okay, outwardly there's no real fulfillment. Making money, having these desires, living a life like that. You may be happy and all that too, but then you don't have to all these things. But once you see that these are limited, develop vairagya, detachment to the temporary things, detachment that are not real, detachment that are going to go away, right? And then you will be able to really be satisfied within yourself so you can go and give to other people. This entrepreneurship just to make a living, or that's okay, that's also okay, but making so much more money, so much more, that kind of attachment, you look at it. You may not get it right away, but am I detached to all this? Just for you can't deny that you have what's called Krishna. This is Agni, that's a fire to get things, so be that and all that. Because you missed out who you really are, right? Inwardly. And that's why you want to go outward to be authoritative to other people, to take it from other people and all that. So servant leadership teaches you how not only be free of my own internal drive, but at the same time, you will have drive for a bigger cause. Find out. You could be working for an institution that could be a bigger cause. You have a family you have to feed, you have to do other. That could be a bigger cause. But then you may expand that to how can I make a product in my company that can change a large amount of people's life? That could be something you can identify. So when you have that kind of bigger cause, then so I quoted this in the stress classes also. Kennedy asked, "Don't ask what your country is doing for you. Ask what I am doing for my country." Right? So then, no, then it happens. So it happens like, okay, I can be free of all these things, be very happy. Then what happens is Shat Sampatti. That's the third quality. There's six qualities are there, but four they say among the third six are Shama, Dama, uh, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana, Shraddha. These six are like controlling the senses, controlling the mind. So you Viveka, you discriminately you understood what is real, what is not, what is truth, what is not, and what is temporary, what is not. Then you develop the vairagya detachment to the unreal, temporary, all those things. And then you withdraw your senses and you withdraw your mind also control them. And then fourth one is mumukshatva, intense curiosity about what is life. What's the purpose of life? Intense curiosity. Then you will travel that, and then you end up what's called Atma Sakshatkaram. Once you do that, then you go and work for the welfare of the world. Jagat Hitaya. That is my motto. Atma Sakshatkaram. Not I'm looking for. See, I learned AI so that I can help people adjust to the new change, not go through the suffering, and not really left behind in that sense. Because the people with the money, with the knowledge will dominate people who don't have. I happen to learn it and a little bit. I'm on the edge of learning new things all the time. See, I always say, I come with a beginner's mind, questioning mind, wanting to understand. See, our greatest tradition there is, they came from, I don't know, let me know. But the tendency is, the moment you come to know a little bit, you think you're a big shot. Einstein said, I don't know what the big deal they're making of me. I don't feel like that. I didn't, produce all these things. I only discovered them as they're already there, written by he was talking about the force that created the world and all. Look at that. So the more you know you don't know. So be servant leader means you are full. That's why you are going to address the needs of others. You are going to be servant of others' needs. Did I answer your question, Shailaja?
Yes, yes, doctor. We have discussed this much
Yeah,
more in detail for the benefit of the audience to understand this.
yeah.
Was my question. Yeah, that added so much of value, doctor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she get to talk to me. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Uh, Dr. Rao, sir, I'm Arjun.
Yeah.
Why audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have one more universal question. People having, according to survey, and many people thinking like, this question still difficult to get answer. Uh, what is what is after our death? Like, what is life? What is there in after our death?
Yeah. It depends upon you know what your conditioning about it is. If you ask the ancients, they say this is only a transition of your journey. Okay, so you have some prarabdha karma because of things you have done in the past. You have to, you know, what you sow, you have to reap. And then you have to see that you are not doing your more karma, and then how to be of that. When you really observe, he tells Krishna, tells Arjuna also, when you see these something, those things will come to you, you want them and all that. That's how you create more karma. But if you can see, ignore all that and then go on doing what you need to do, even though you don't have to do, you do what you have to do, and then you will be free of the karma bandha. That's their explanation. But there are so many people don't believe that there is another life and all that, but they want to enjoy the life here now. That is also there. So it's a question of live here now. Well, that's all we know. What is here properly? Dharmic way. That means whatever I do will help more people. Not thinking about will I have good life there or not, we don't know. But then one thing is sure. You see the grass. The grass seems to have gone completely, but then season change, they come back. Here we see the ice and all that, right? And then they seem to have gone completely, and then they come slowly. So life happens. So contribute to the life. And it could be like Bhagavad Gita tells you that you are having this body mind as clothes. You change them, and then the real energy within you, the being, takes another close, and that is a body mind complex. So he does talk about indweller. He does talk about this energy that is within us never dies. Najayate mriyateva. Never has birth, never has death. So that indweller, even Ramana Maharshi talks about. He quotes in Bhagavad Gita, when somebody wants to learn one sloka and understand the whole Bhagavad Gita, he talks about chapter 10, verse 20. Okay, that is Gunakesha. I am the beginning, middle, and end of all living beings. So that means that force of God, or the energy, or whatever that we call as the essential Hridaya, human beings, and that is like it is there in all of us. Everything else is our attributes. But in that, both may ekta. In that being, we are all one. So actually, once you really sense it and you see it, then there is no death for that. The indweller is always there. So fear of death goes away. few people from this place also consulted me on somebody dying and passing away, and I brought this to their notice, and their ease, their ache or suffering that they were going through, which is real, eased a little bit, having that permanency, sense of permanency, and also living in that with our mind quiet is the real peace, and real happiness. Once you touch that, nothing else really matters. So uh, it's not about theories, it's not about philosophies, it is about reality. What we see is that I may see a patient dying in the ground floor in the medical ward, but there's eighth floor. They have this maternity ward where the babies are born. So life continues. Death is a myth. Death, it's a transition that gives a lot of. So see again, what is not permanent, we are holding. This body should be here. This relationship should be here. That's what we are trying to hold. But that's not true. Everything happens, right? But whereas praptasya prapti, nivrittasya nivritti. That means what you are, you get. That inner indwelling is what you really are, you get, and it will be permanent. What you are not, you will lose. You are not the body mind, and you are lost.
Yes, Dr. Sir, one more thing I'm going to add the valuation. As I said, 100% correct. Now, death is only for the physical body, right? So there's the soul. We like that. It's always with us.
Yeah.
Normally, people. I missed most of the legends, but I never thought I missed them because I casually follow their core values, and when they are with me, I just I met them. That the memories always I remind,
That's
and
it.
sometimes I need any suggestions.
Yeah.
I try to ask them. I don't know overall believe this or not. I try
No,
to
no.
ask them. I get answers.
No,
This is the
you're going deeper
this is the
into.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
given some values to my mind.
Yeah.
I train my mind like that.
Mm.
I don't want to miss over with me.
Yeah.
Right? What do
Yeah.
you say?
No. The thing is, you are right to some extent. What it is you are trying to emulate the lifestyles of the great beings, and that's great. That's what it should be, Arjun. But there is something beyond mind, beyond thought. That one you stay there all the time. That is the Brahma Vidya, Brahma Gnana. Okay? Once you have that, you don't have anything to know. You don't have anything to acquire or be or anything like that. Such a big deal about Brahma Vidya. Uh, take the Sri Ramanavami today. Everybody sending me greetings today. Happy Sri Ramanavami. But I have a tendency to study these festivals and what they represent. And you take Rama, look at his life. From childhood, he was taken to the forest, he had to kill these demons, and then he, on the way, marries the girl and brings her home. And then he was told in the morning that he's going to be a prince. And in the night, he was told he's going to the forest for 14 years. And then he goes and lives there. And then he has to forego his dear wife. And he goes after that. And then warrior comes back. And then somebody says something, he has to leave his wife, who is very dear to him. Entire life is one struggle or other, but never give up. Never say he didn't know who he was, but as a human being, Maryada Purusha. So understanding his qualities, understanding, the Rama, the way he ruled. Okay, what do they call? They call this Ramarajyam. Ramarajyam is the most peaceful because he won everybody's heart. Understand what was those. Understand those things. Shankaracharya said something about what the great gurus' lifestyles should be lessons for us. That's what you're trying to do, Arjun. So that's the way. You don't have to say, "Oh, I know this." I am like, no. You got to really be sincere about. Am I really understanding what they stood for? Am I bringing this way? Shravanam, you can listen like a study also. This is Shravanam. Manana means you are reflecting on this in your mind, not just worrying about how much money I'm going to make, but what is life, right? And then Nididhyasana. Once you understood this great principle from watching all these sages, bring them to be real. Make it, allow them in your life. That is the significance of it. Raghava, you have any questions?
I think Ravindra, you are there? Yeah. Is there any speaker panel? Anybody wants to ask any questions to Dr. Rao sir?
Yeah, Subha here. Good morning, Dr. Rao.
Good morning, Shubha.
Going back to the initial topic where you spoke about fitness, taking care of your health. I have a question which is more personal to
Sure.
myself, and I'm sure there are many such students. I have two students, and I'm children at home, both are students, college going. Especially the elder one, when I speak about her, she is pursuing a master's in clinical psychology, which is and specializing in children's pediatric wellness. Now she leaves for the college as early as 6:15 in the morning because the college is almost 2.5 hours away from our place, further from our place. And then again, she's back home only there on 6:30, 6:45. We're so completely exhausted. Most of the times, even her lunchbox comes back as it is. She doesn't find time. Uh, when it comes to fitness, how do I ensure that one, she's certainly very conscious about what she's eating, but as you said, rightly said, it's to do with genes. She's slightly on the healthier side. I wouldn't say fat, but slightly overweight. And she's trying to do as much as she can. She's very conscious about what she's eating. She eats fruits, vegetables, and a good amount of protein and all of that whenever possible. I wouldn't say every day because most of the time the dabba comes back home as it is.
Yeah.
And ensure she eats well.
Yeah.
The minute she's back home, the first thing she would do is take bath and then have a meal. So which means practically before 7, she's always done with her food. Even if we go out, we obviously indulge in cheat meal once in a while. I mean, at least once in a fortnight, if not more, because I'm a terrible cook, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
So whatever bit I know, I cook, but everybody at home wants good food once in a while. So we do get indulged in that. But we're very conscious even when we eat out is what is getting in. I would not say that we don't eat pizzas or bhatures or all of that. We do, but then we're conscious about what we eat. All of us follow that. Especially coming back to my daughter's question. Now she's active at workplace. I mean, at her college while doing her internship, or even on a daily basis, they have to handle children, partner, patients, young kids, autistic kids, and other kids similar.
So bring her to the our challenge. She can assess herself where she is, and then we will put her some plan together.
So our challenges are, I can talk about it. One, she gets completely irritated sometimes. She's a beautiful person by heart, excellent. She's much more mature than a lot of people of her age. In fact, people of my age as well. I mean, she's so well balanced, mature. But sometimes maybe she's not having enough food. Second, she's certainly not having an active life because she's confined to that room where she has to treat children. Second, again, the kind of patients that she is handling is different from a general physician or anybody else. So at this age, at a young age, to handle that, maybe, but this is what she wanted. It was a passion, and she's doing fantastic. God's grace, touch wood. She was a gold medalist in her bachelor's, and she's really doing well. What do I do to? She doesn't have time for exercise. I've tried it hard. She comes back home exhausted. The minute I say, Bita, do some breathing techniques or do some yoga or walk around or do some Zumba, she's a great dancer, Bharatanatyam dancer, and I've tried all of that. She just says, "No, Mama, I'm tired." She just takes a meal, walks around. I mean, do some. She'll do something, some reading and all of that till about 8:30, 9:30. Then she'll hit the bed. But my other concern, doctor, she goes to the bed by 9:30, but she doesn't get sleep. That is my biggest concern.
Yeah, Shubha, um,
Yes, Dr. Rao.
information overload. Okay,
Oh,
she is
yes.
a Bharatanatyam dancer, so she should be
Uh-huh.
continuing the Bharatanatyam dancer, and also she should be really focusing on that so much that her mind is not going to go anywhere. You know, that is one thing I would suggest that she could do what she is doing right now, and also the choice of the psychology, that you have to really understand. Okay, that's I think much more personal probably, but generally, why is that so much mental health is worsening?
Mm.
You see, that's why you have to understand. Why is that psychological, therapeutic, therapies and all they are not working? One answer was what produced the mental illness to begin with. Those conditions are not alleviated because collective ignorance, collective misunderstanding about human psyche and mind and all that. So I kind of really rely on the inner intelligence that we have and go with it. That takes a lot of undoing of the wrong thinking that we were raised. Okay, so the whole field of psychology is not really being effective because the conditions that produce this, okay, for example, this overthinking, this continuous thinking is really not joyful. It's like a neurosis. See?
She has that tendency, doctor. She
Yeah,
thinks too much. I mean,
yeah.
beyond what is in fact needed.
No,
We have a very touchwood, a
that's a
very
mechanism.
pleasant environment.
That's a mechanism we
So,
produce with our society patterns. Okay,
mhm,
so we know that neuroplasticity shows us, but then neuroplasticity was explained by yogis 5,000 years ago, samskaras, vasanas, and all that. Information is there to produce insights, and the insights become our wisdom. But don't have to land that information in your little mind. That is what is happening to them. Not only
yeah.
psychology, but all the other fields too. So one simple thing is how you can calm down at the break of the dawn when you wake up in the morning, and how you go to sleep by calming her. I can teach her that. If you want to bring her, I can teach her that. Then she
Right,
can do that
right,
every day. Okay, every day,
right.
and help herself. So actually this is serious damage is already done to the attention of the kids and the youngsters, so even the entrepreneurs also, right?
Yeah, I see a lot of people suffering. Like, I mean, a
Yeah,
similar. I mean,
no, no,
sometimes
no. Big
irritation.
deal.
Otherwise, on other days, very happy. But
Yeah,
suddenly, for no reason, get
yeah,
irritated.
yeah, because that reactivity, right? I talked about deep breathing and pausing, and also really understanding how your mind works. This is not something they are taught. For example, all the psychologists, psychiatrists, they themselves are helpless and they want to help other people. That is the culture has evolved like that. But then,
We keep telling her that at home, doctor. You are going to be a clinical psychologist specializing in pediatric
yeah,
wellness, so you can't, even one for once lose your cool or get
she is
irritated. She
prepared
doesn't lose
with
cool,
that.
but she gets little upset and
She is
irritated sometimes.
she is prepared with techniques that are for
Mm.
outward thing. They don't have a foggiest idea about how to deal with their own mind or the minds that they come to seek help for them.
Mm.
That is the state of it. My friend, for example, he's a psychiatrist, and then he's also from Telugu, so we became very close friends. We were living next door almost. So they had two daughters when I first came to this town, right? And one daughter was around 12 years or so. She was so harassed in the school because she looks Indian, she has an accent, and all that. These people are very cruel to her, and she was really depressed when I saw her. And it so happened I had to give her a school ride. I was taking her. She was very small at the time, and I saw her being really unhappy. Then I said, "What's going on?" She told me that, what is going on, and then I kind of visited our, uh, what we inherited, what the brains and everything, and I taught her to be in the present moment. It taught her how to not to be reacting to other people, and I also gave her the enormous insight of the ancients and how she is inheriting such kind of genius thinking, right? So once she understood, her all confidences come back, and then she learned to not to react to these people, and also now she practices physical yoga quite well. She practices so many vinyasas, and she pictures that and then put it in the Instagram. What I'm saying is introducing to the great uh, cultures of yesteryear. It doesn't have to be India, China, Japan, Egypt, any of the even Native Americans. So if you go and examine that, they are close to nature. They are not confined by continuous thinking like we are doing now.
Correct.
So what it
Yeah,
is, first
we
of all,
can't control what's going around us, but
yeah,
we can
no,
only
no, you
control
cannot
what's
control,
within
but you
us.
can understand the effect on our children and then protect them. See, the one thing is uh, somebody like Jitu Krishnamurti, he kind of found these schools where he asked the question, what are we educating the kids for? Like now, she may be going to the whatever degree she wants to, she's learning, but she's a young woman. She was given so much feed up until now, she lost physically the attention span. That's not her fault. She was exposed to that kind of atmosphere, and now it's very difficult for us to revert back unless they themselves want to go inward and repair themselves.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. I'll perhaps connect her to you
Yeah,
sometime on
yeah,
the
no, she
Sunday
needs
with your permission.
understand.
I'll ping
Yeah,
you before I connect.
I think she'll become a better psychologist if she can understand what I'm talking about.
She is very good at work. I mean, her professors keep telling me
Hmm.
she's a top performer, and
To begin
she
with,
helps a lot
Shubha,
of people in the college.
to begin with, ask her every 1 hour, stop
Mhm.
and take deep breaths and live in that present moment. Every 1 hour.
Right.
Okay, 1 minute, only 1 minute. And then when
Yeah.
she sees me, then I will prescribe things that she can do by herself. Okay?
Certainly, Dr. Ram.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ram.
Sure, sure. This is the problem with general education level also. People cannot put the phone down, and people cannot really discover the meaning for themselves. And everybody is working to survive, working to make it these temporary things, thinking they are permanent, and really do not understand the significance of education and where it is going and all that. So, one sentence I think Sadhguru said, we have to prepare them for the universe, not just the universities. That universe part, first of all, they have to understand, right? So then they kind of cannot do anything if they don't understand. So you got to educate the parents, you educate the educators, policy makers, and all of that. So it's a question of ongoing education for us and ongoing education for them too. But if you make it such a way that they can go and discover things for themselves, things will come. I would definitely give the girl about going into the forest or wooded areas and then spending some time with the nature by alone, that kind of thing. Anyway, let me talk to her. Then see, we always have to not to give a prescription, but more like let them work with what they can work. Say you cannot put everything one time, right? You got slowly. So it's all.
It's a typical challenge in India. There's tremendous pressure to get the scores, do tough competition. Everybody wants to
no,
come first.
they're stressed out. Yeah, they're stressed out because they have to perform to a degree. It's unhealthy for them. So My cousin,
And to
she had a,
add to all that, her travel. I mean, almost
yeah,
5 hours of travel every
yeah,
day. She doesn't want to stay in college in
yeah,
hostel near the college because the food that she may not get the
yeah.
bad food that we get give at home.
My cousin had a daughter.
Cleanliness, that's another issue with her.
Yeah,
She wants everything spick and span.
yeah.
She cannot keep
Obsessed.
the room
Yeah.
messy. So
No, my cousin had a daughter. She had 96 out of 100. And they were scolding her because she didn't get 98. That kind of pressure.
thankfully, doctor, my husband and I both are very lenient about it. For us, what is important is the
No, but
concept,
the
not school.
society puts the pressure on them, you know. So,
We've never pressurized children on anything.
yeah.
We always wanted them to take what they love, and this was her area. She
Yeah.
chose this for
What you did,
herself. She
Shubha,
enjoyed it.
what you did
Yes,
was
doctor.
you really didn't know what is going on at the depth on the neurosis level because of this information age, because of the way structure is everything about arriving something, not celebrating what we have. That kind of thing really making these kids not really
Yeah,
know life, you
and
know.
the peer pressure,
Yeah,
social pressure.
maximum,
I would
maximum,
say
maximum pressure. Yeah, because
social
these
pressure.
days you don't have any influence. Only our friends will have influence. Generally,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
true, Doctor.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, I think.
Yes, that was in the like now, Shubha madam. I think in the same flow, I'm going to add one more values like now regarding my daughters. Still now, believe it or not, I never asked them, how they study because no, they are studying amazingly and they're giving immediate, like quality results and they never went to any tuitions also. Yesterday, my elder daughter got a good results like 97% entire the uh, uh, two sessions. I mean two sections last from 3 years he's coming first madam. So this what it indicates. Normally we children's they observe our what we're doing, how we struggling in our life and how we all this reflect them and we giving them little freely like no they know the pain, right, how this and all reflects on the children's and let them enjoy their life. It's not like no, we have to give them freely and give them what they want, understand their nature, and this is what I'm going to say, man.
Okay, Ramesh, anything else, or we can stop it here?
Yeah, I think we can stop. It's already 10 to 9. All of us have to go
Well,
to
yeah, that's good.
earn our daily bread. It was a wonderful session, Doctor. And again, very, very thankful that you have initiated this week-long health and wellness challenge
Yeah,
of, and I think it's very, very important that people can have a platform where if they feel that they have to do something about their health, of course everything starts from the self, that yeah, the platform is available, somebody like you is available to guide them. So thank you once again, and yeah, thank you for thank you everybody for all this, because Raghavendra, you want to close the room now, Raghavendra?
I think he's not available, sir. I'll just that was could you conclude the session before closing?
yeah. Just this is supposed to be introductory session for all the days coming. We're going to deal with first assess, help them to how to assess. If they are not doing it, encourage them to assess. And then they don't have to reveal anything that is caught, but then they can find out, okay, these are things are going on. I can see my doctor or something. What I did is don't go till the point where the body or mind tells you that you are sick. Be aware of what's going on, what are the good wellness measures that you could employ, and you could take action with the help of scientific doctors and also real good ancient wisdom students or teachers, and then combine that to your life situation. I'm going to help a little bit because I've been at this for maybe 20 some years doing this combination of because I didn't never buy only the scientific medicine has answers to all. We all know that. We don't know so many things. We always try to learn continuous medical education, right? So I'm fortunate I happen to be a student of the ancient wisdom. Maybe I did overdid it, but then that was a blessing for me. When I get sick, I got bounced back very quickly, and then I came with this wellness optimization, and I have been practicing that. And so I want to share with all people and how I have been an entrepreneur for so many years because I own my practice and everything. I know the problems with money, problems with pressure and all that. So I'm trying to help them with that too. I do the morning, empowering entrepreneurs on the WhatsApp, and a few people are coming actually, but then they can use that too. And also we do a morning routine actually designed for who are working in a modern society. Take some time to prepare your body, your mind, and your heart, and so that you go there with inner resilience. That's what I promote with a lot of people. So that takes what do you do for the body? What do you do for the mind? What do you do for the heart? And I do it every day. This is good for me too, and for my friends who come there. And then I come on these rooms and talk to people about what I'm learning, what I'm applying, so that they can also be benefited. So that's what I want to get this OB and learn all the things that I learned with the artificial intelligence, so that that will be an asset for you rather than intimidating affair later on. Okay, so I will be doing on Friday probably a few weeks I will do so that they can. I have prepared some 15 problems the entrepreneurs have. How AI can make it easy. For example, cold emails. You don't have to just do it. You can use the AI and that will tell you, get you a lot of cold emails done by it. So it will make a breeze. What I used to spend several hours, now I do only few minutes actually, few seconds sometimes. So that's that remarkable thing is there. So I just want to share that so that that won't be a factor of stress. But eventually, I want everybody to turn inward, be present, be aware of what is going on. So not get lost in arguments or intellectual bravery and all the empty talk. That way they can really live long, well, and enjoy themselves. Thank you.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Ramesh Narayan sir, getting the amazing speaker today, and Dr. Rao sir presented, brainstorming session. Thanks to all, and thanks to audience. And we'll go with tomorrow morning 6:30 a.m. Indian IST time. That is a wonderful session. One more, like how to bring back missing flavors in the millets. That is handled by Mr. Manjunath from Priya Daily. He's from Tumkur. So we're waiting for the session. We'll meet there, and I'm going to close the session by the reverse count of five. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.